Hey everybody, Chad, Nobody Else's Auto out here on the Kansas prairie. You can see the tractor behind me. We're getting ready to move a bunch of cars and trucks around that I bought. We're giving you a quick glimpse of these as found, where found. Right now we're gonna check out a Chevy pickup that actually I've got a little bit of history with, believe it or not. This old truck was a truck that my dad bought years ago, back in the 80s, as a parts truck for my Chevy tow truck. Now we haven't done a full video on the Chevy tow truck. I know some of you guys have seen it in some other videos, but a 1950 Chevy dealership tow truck, super cool, completely original, exactly as it was built in 58. When we were using that truck to move cars at Dad's, he bought this one for a parts truck. After he got rid of that truck, he got rid of this truck, and I stumbled across it again. So it's pretty rough, but I got a little bit of a history for it with it. We're gonna show you there again, as found, where found. And then when we get her back to the yard, we'll take a little bit better look at it. Well, here she is, not a heck of a lot left of it. This was actually a 52 or a 53, I believe. It had push buttons with vents, and it's got the early style dash. But this truck actually, and for years I've always thought that this truck was a 54 because it had a 54 front clip on it. That's what I thought it was when Dad had it. That's what I've always thought it was until I walked back up on it today and realized it had the earlier style dash in it. So there again, it's tough. It's just an old parts truck sitting out here on the prairie. Old farm implements scattered around. Like I said, I got several of them out here. Got the tractor right here behind us. We're gonna start dragging some of this stuff out, getting it turned around to where I can move it and get to it and get her loaded. So some of the stuff's been out here for a few days, including this old combine. Check this thing out. Look at the tree around this old combine. Literally has grown up all the way around it. Have to take the combine apart to get her out of the tree, I got a feeling. But that's what's kind of cool about some of these runs. We go out here on the prairie looking for these old cars and trucks, seeing some of that stuff as well. So stay tuned, we'll take a little better look at this when we get her back to the yard and check it out, sort through some of these parts to see what we've got. Well, we finally got this old Chevy hauled into the yard. Like I said, this had kind of an interesting history. Dad had bought this truck years ago as a parts truck for an old Chevy winch truck that was an old Chevy dealership record that we used to move cars around his place when I was a kid. That's this truck right here. Yes, believe it or not, we still have that truck as well. So you're gonna wanna stay tuned. We'll have a full video coming up on that truck sometime soon. But anyway, here's this old Chevy as we pull it out of the old cow pasture. Now, like I said, this is half 53, half 54. Obviously, it had a 54 front clip on it. We can tell by the hood and the front fenders, this had a 54 front clip, but the truck was a 53. It had the earlier style dash. So, had a flatbed on it, kind of a homemade flatbed, this old pipe type flatbed, wooden sideboards on it. Kind of an old homemade job the way it looks. But hey, back then, that's what people did. That's what you needed, that's what you did. They made it work. Not a ton left of this old truck. It's pretty rough, doors kind of banged up. Inside, we can see the earlier style dash, so we know it's not a 54, early 55 based on the dash. But there are still pieces here. Windshield moldings are still in there. Lots of other loose pieces that were laying there with the truck or on the back of the truck. I had to pile them inside to get it hauled in. Different seats. Somebody added different seats at some point in its life. Does still have the old 6-cylinder in it, but not a heck of a lot left up here. Obviously, the majority of the front clip is stacked on the back of the truck. Over here on this side, not quite as beat up. More bits and pieces all stacked inside the hood latch panel. The remains of one of the old original hubcaps. So a few pieces of trim, just all kinds of miscellaneous. So like I said, this old truck was kind of rough, banged up, and has definitely seen better days. But it was kind of cool since we had the ties with this truck of when Dad had bought it years ago as a parts truck for the one that we were using. Finding it again, hauling it back in, and hey, there are still some good pieces here that are going to help save some other trucks. This was a 3/4 ton. That's why, primarily why Dad wanted it, was because that's what the old winch truck was that we were using to move cars around his place when I was a kid. So there she is, the old 54/53 Chevy pickup, fresh out of the cow pasture. So like I said, kind of cool having a tie to this old truck, even though it's pretty rough. Remembering when Dad picked it up as a little kid, running that old winch truck over the years. So glad to have it back here, even though it's rough. There's a lot of bits and pieces here. Still good to add to inventory. And like I said, everything in this pasture was going to the shredder if I didn't buy it. So went ahead and picked it up, hauled it in. We've got her lined up in the row. Got any questions about this old Chevy or any of the other 2,000 cars and trucks we've got here on the ground at Nobody Else's Auto, just give me a shout, 620-786-4428. We can have a short conversation about your project, year, make, model, body style, parts you need. All that information is what I need to know if I may have something here that can help you out. So you like old cars, you like old trucks, be sure to check out the channel, Nobody Show. Definitely hit that subscribe button and definitely hit the notification button. We do a lot of cool live stuff on here. You don't want to miss any of that either. We have a lot of fun. If you like this old stuff, you'll definitely want to check it out. Subscribe, check out all the other videos. So thanks for watching this one. Stay tuned. We've got a ton more cool stuff coming up. I've had a lot of inventory coming in. Some big internationals, 57 Cadillac, some more Ford trucks. I mean, just a ton of stuff that we haven't even had time to share with you yet. So stay tuned. We got a lot of cool stuff coming in the near future. We sure hope to see you soon on the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody.